it's Amy, and we are almost done with October, which is just crazy in and of itself because this month has just flown by, and we're almost in November, which also means we are almost ready to begin this year's NaNoWriMo. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. So, to get ready, I'm gonna do the NaNoWriMo tag, which was created by Christina Horner, and I'll put a link to her channel and video down below, so you should definitely go check her out if you have not already, because she is fantastic and awesome. And I will also put a link to the NaNoWriMo website. If you have not heard about it, you should go check it out if you have even ever thought about writing or wanting to write or wanting a great writing community. It's fantastic. It's awesome. So let's get started with question number 1, which is how many times have you done NaNoWriMo? And I have started and won all 3 of the past 3 years, so this year will be my 4th year of doing NaNoWriMo. Question number 2 is, how did you first find out about Nano? My friend from college, she is my fellow writing buddy. She's fantastic and awesome, and I would not be able to do the writing that I do throughout the year without her support and without her doing sprints with me throughout the year. She's awesome. So yeah, she told me about it when she had done it the year before, or 2 years before that, and she knew that I had been talking about being a writer, and I was working at Target at the time, and I was just like, life is just sucking me dry. And she's like, hey, I think you should look into this. I think it would be fantastic, and I had a great time. And so I looked into it, and I was like, I can't do this. There's no way that I can write 50,000 words in 1 month. And I don't write fiction. I write blog type inspirational stuff. I don't write fiction. And then finally I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it just because it would be fun, possibly, and it was fantastic. Even in the midst of working retail during Black Friday and November and Christmas and all of that, it was the most fantastic month of writing and life. Yes, so that was how I first heard about Nano, was from my friend. Okay, question 3 is, what was the name of your first novel you attempted with Nano? And it was titled Climbing the Divide. Yes. Okay, question number 4, which is, give a 1-sentence summary of what you are writing this year. Well, what I'm writing this year is the second part of my book from last year. I had started it, wasn't going into it thinking it was going to be a series or a duology, trilogy, whatever. And then when I started editing, I realized that there's a lot more of the story, and I'm not going to be able to fit it into one book. And so it's now probably going to be at least a duology, if not a trilogy. And so to summarize this book, the continual adventures of Allie in the Human Project. Question number 5, which is, what is the best writing advice you've ever been given? And I've gotten a lot of really amazing writing advice. I've read some really great books. If you're looking for some good writing books, definitely On Writing by Stephen King. It's fantastic. I've only read a little over half of it, and it's so amazing. And Bird by Bird by Anne Lamott is also fantastic. The most freeing piece of advice I have gotten was that to be a good writer, you have to be a good reader. And I love reading, obviously, because I make booktube videos, and that is something that I will always do, and I will always make time for. And at one point I was feeling very guilty about how much I was reading, because it was like, well, I should take the time that I'm reading to be writing, because if this is really what I want to do as a career, then I should actually be writing. But if I'm not reading every day, I'm also not engaging my imagination in a way that I personally can engage my imagination. So I think just making time to read and putting that aside is definitely a great piece of advice. And it also is my way of winding down and relaxing, so it helps to continue to work as hard as I need to do. So, okay, question number 6, have I ever taken a year off since I've started NaNoWriMo? No, I haven't. Okay, question number 7 is, what's your biggest inspiration when figuring out what to write? I have to say that I just kind of think about it, like, what do I want to write, and an idea just comes to me, and I don't necessarily think it just comes to me. I really do believe that, you know, with my faith, and I believe that God speaks to me and gives me inspiration, that, you know, inspiration comes from Him. And so I feel like even though I don't necessarily write Christian fiction, I still think that He is writing through me, and so I think part of my ideas come from Him. And also, what I've been really thinking about and what is really on my heart to write, or like last year I decided to write a young adult novel, mainly because I had been reading a lot of young adult fiction, and a lot of it is just, I just found really inappropriate for the age bracket that it was intended for. Just the content was just, it was too much. It was not, it just was too much. Rated R, rated X type things if it was a movie, and it just wasn't appropriate for, I don't think it's appropriate for 15, 16-year-old kids to be reading the stuff that they're reading that's set for them. And I just wanted to write something that still has adventure, still has conflict, still deals with hard issues, still has romance and, you know, and love in it, but it doesn't have to have the graphic scenes that, you know, kids don't need to read. So that's one of my big inspirations for why I did a young adult novel last year, and which I will be doing again this year. Okay, and then question number 8 is, read the first sentence from one of your novels. And so I'm going to give you 2 sentences because I haven't quite decided how I'm exactly going to start the novel that I wrote last year and I've been working on editing this year. So option number 1 is, they say it is not possible, and even if it were, no being should possess that amount of power. Okay, and then option number 2 is, 3 words is all it takes to change a life, to alter the trajectory of one's destiny. I'm actually very proud of those 2 sentences because I've been working on this novel for the past 7 months, and it's been, yes, so getting that, like, I'm very proud of those. So anyway, so those are the 2 possibilities of the first sentence of the book, one of the book that I've been working on. And then the last question is, why do you love writing? And there's so many reasons why I love writing. I think one, I just love the fact that when I start something new, these characters, this world, these lives, basically, they didn't exist until I put them on paper. And then after I've been working on them, like, they exist now in the world. They are on this world because I chose to take them from my brain and put them onto paper. And I just find that just fascinating, man. Why did I become Canadian? Sorry, I love all you Canadians. It's just, that was really funny. Okay, and the other reason that I love writing is just, I really feel like that's what I'm made to do. I'm made to tell stories, and I feel like that is one of the ways that I can impact this world is through my writing, and it just brings me a lot of joy. The editing process does not bring me joy, but that is not my passion. It's the writing and creating new characters and new worlds that I absolutely love. So yes. Okay, well that was the last question. That went by pretty quickly. It was a lot of fun. So I am just going to tag anyone that is going to be doing Nano this year and would like to do this video. It's fun, it's quick, and fantastic, and I just love NaNoWriMo. I love writing, and I love books. So that's all I have to say, guys. I hope you're having a great reading month as always, and I will see you guys on the flip side. Bye! Bye! It's still hot here, guys. It's not fair. I'm wearing a tank top. I was wearing flip-flops yesterday and it was snowing somewhere else. It's not fair.